The Michigan High School Athletic Association is proud to present the Boys Basketball State Final.
Defending state champs Michigan Western Michigan Christian earned a chance to defend their title with a semifinal victory over Detours yesterday. Muskegon Christian with a great second half after trailing by 8 at the intermission. The Warriors take on Grand Rapids Covenant Christian as the Chargers, after only a 2-point lead at the half, went on a fourth quarter scoring binge. Knocked off Waterford Our Lady of the Lakes to move into the Class D final.
The Michigan High School Athletic Association Boys Basketball Finals are brought to you by Farm Bureau Insurance and by True Value Hardware.
From the Palace of Auburn Hills, the Michigan High School Athletic Association presents the Class D Championship game in the 1993 Boys Basketball Tournament between the Warriors of Muskegon Western Michigan Christian and the Chargers of Grand Rapids Covenant Christian. Hi again, everyone. I'm Rick Berkey here at the Palace for another exciting championship contest here in Class D. In case you missed it, earlier today in an exciting Class B title tilt, Saginaw Buena Vista won its second consecutive crown, defeating a game-but-outman Muskegon High squad by a count of 69-52. Now, following the Class D championship here, we're going to have a couple more games for you. In Class C, Southgate Aquinas will meet Coamo Westphalia. Then later on tonight, the Class A finale, Detroit Pershing against Benton Harbor. Let's take a look right now at how these two teams in Class D got here. First of all, Muskegon Western Michigan Christian, you see they've been on a roll. They were tested by McBain and a couple of other fine squads on the way, but they beat Detour yesterday to get to the championship. As for Covenant Christian from the Grand Rapids area, you see they rolled, but they did have one very, very close and dramatic game. A last-second bucket got them a win over Lansing Christian in the quarterfinals, and that got them to the semis, and now they're here in the finals. Now, as we look at this Class D game, there's a real rarity in two instances. First of all, there are two clubs from the same conference playing for a state championship. That's one. Then in the other area, the defending state champion returns, Muskegon Western Michigan Christian, but even though they return, you can't consider them the favorite because they're playing a team, Covenant Christian, that beat them twice during this season. Before a more in-depth look at the two clubs involved in this one, let's go down to the two folks who will call all the action from courtside, my good friends Ray Lane and John Spooner.
Hey, Rick, thanks very much, and hi, everybody. Nice to have you along wherever you may be in this great state of Michigan. My big guy next to me is John Spooner. If you want to know about basketball, you visit with John just for a couple of minutes, and believe me, you get the information. Nice to have you along today. John, we're talking about both of these teams. All of a sudden, the defending champion in Class D comes in here, playing the underdog role, as Rick said. And, of course, the challenger comes in here with a perfect record, 26-0. Something has got to give.
And I'll tell you, Ray, that perfect record includes 2 victories already over Muskegon West Michigan Christian by 27 points and 12 points. Both these teams know each other, very familiar, and right now Covenant Christian has the 2-0 edge in victories.
All right, when we talk about Muskegon, of course, Western Michigan, talking about one of their stars, and this has to be the star.
Well, number 11, Jeremy Gorman, he's the coach's son, a 6'2" senior guard, averaging 17.5 points a game, 7 rebounds, 4.5 assists. And I'll tell you, Ray, he's an outstanding player. He is also the catcher on the baseball team for Muskegon West Michigan Christian, and he is going to have to handle the fast pitch pressure of Covenant Christian.
Okay, he does it all. That's what this man is saying. John Spooner shoots from the outside, will drive the lane for you. And maybe on this other team, though, when we talk about working in the middle. Maybe the inside game is a little bit stronger.
No question about it at all. 6'6" senior center Dave Meulenberg, number 54. He comes in averaging about 20 points a game, 11.5 rebounds, shoots 64% from the field, Ray. He is an outstanding player inside for Covenant Christian.
Well, we think we've got an exciting game all lined up in Class B. Don't go away right now. We're going to throw it back upstairs to Rick Berkey.
Thank you, Ray. The Chargers and the Warriors go after the Class D crown. We'll come back with these starting lineups in just a moment. Stay with us. One of your network sponsors is True Value Hardware. Back at the Palace, you see the teams getting their final warm-up tosses in as they get ready for the Class D Championship. Again, the interesting battle here, the two teams from the same conference as Ray and John mentioned, very familiar with each other. There'll be good rivals in the league, and they should have an interesting matchup today as well.
Good afternoon. The Michigan High School Athletic
We look forward to this one, and we appreciate you joining us here on the MHSAA Championship Network, wherever you are. Again, there's a couple more to come. We've already had one champion crowned, 3 more still to come in this exciting roam of the Palace here in Auburn Hills. Following this one, Southgate Aquinas and Guamo Westphalia in Class C. Then later tonight, a lot of folks looking forward to the Class A finale. It's a repeat of last year. Detroit Pershing and Benton Harbor, both clubs expected to be there. They're there, and it should be. We're glad that you're here now, and we look forward to having you stay with us the rest of the afternoon. Right now, let's go down to Eric Forsett, the PA announcer, please.
Beale City High School in singing our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the balls bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
And now, let's meet the starting lineups for today's game between the Chargers of Grand Rapids Covenant Christian and the Warriors of Muskegon West Michigan Christian. Starting for the Chargers at forward, 6'2" junior, number 30, Tyler Pike. For the Warriors, at forward, 6'1" senior, 31, Ryan Arkema. The other forward for Covenant Christian, 6'5" junior, number 50, Paul Engelsman. For West Michigan Christian, at forward, 6'4", junior, 32, Trevor Zeidema. At center for the Chargers, 6'6" senior, 54, Dave Meulenberg. At center for the Warriors, 6'5" senior, 50, Eric Wortman. At guard for Covenant Christian, 5'10" junior, 14, Joe Halsteg. For Western Michigan Christian, at guard, 6'2" senior, 11, Jeremy Gorman. The other guard for Covenant Christian, 6'2" senior, 32, Chris Fisher. And for the Warriors, at guard, 6'1" junior, number 20, Brian Sight. Head coach of the Chargers is Kevin Van Ingen. Head coach for the Warriors is Jim Gorman. The officials for today's game, Henry Ampola and Steve Johnson. The alternate, Robert McComb.
Well, this is what they've worked for. John Spooner come down here, play at the Palace, and decide who will reign supreme in Class D.
You know, Ray, Brian Burwell from the USA Today, a sports columnist, said you don't win simply with the most talent. You win because you understand what it is. What is it? Well, so far in this tournament run, Muskegon West Michigan Christian has put their finger on it. This is a team that was not expected to be here. Yeah, they were defending state champions, but they lost a lot of people from last year, Ray. They were not supposed to be here, but here they are. They know what it is.
Speaking of what it is, let's talk about the officials working this game down on the court right now. As you watch Grand Rapids Covenant Christian come out, Henry Ampola, a referee, also working on the boards today, Stephen Johnson, and the alternate is Robert McComb. So 3 good officials for this game as we're all set for the opening tip-off here. And keep an eye on number 54. I got an education yesterday. Thought he was a sleeper the first 2 quarters, and all of a sudden it was young Mr. Meulenberg that went to work in the second half.
Well, this young man has a 64% field goal average. He struggled a little bit lately in the tournaments, but I look for him to have a big game in this final here in the Class D.
Going over to Zidema, who jumped ball for Muskegon Western Michigan. And Muskegon Western Michigan, the defending champs with the ball, but they put it over right away. And Tyler Pike, one of the heroes in the regionals, comes through and lays it up for the first 2 points and calls a foul.
And unfortunately, that foul is on number 31, Ryan Arkema. He is the defensive specialist, Ray, for West Michigan Christian. He is always assigned the top player. You're going to see the steal here now by Covenant Christian. Tremendous pressure they put on the ball at all times. Ryan Arkema gets his hand on the arm of the player, the official right there. In the semis, he got in foul trouble as well. They cannot afford to lose Ryan Arkema.
So Pipe with the first 2, tries to make it a 3-point play. Won't do, but still rebounded by the youngsters from Muskegon.
Outstanding fake there by Meulenberg. Got the player up in the air and took it strong into the hole. That's what Meulenberg struggled with yesterday in the semis, and right now he's got it going.
Ryan Arkema likes to drive that lane, but loses the ball, turns it over again. Pipe. And his pass stolen.
That's good help defense. Muskegon coming back, getting back on the transition game. They do not want to run with the Covenant Christian Warriors, but what they want to do is they want to make sure they get into a good half-court patient offense, work the ball around, try to get into the hands of Jeremy Gorman, the outside shooter. If they can't, try to go down inside.
And complimenting him and the guard is Brian Sight. But again, they cannot handle the boards. Pipe with a long pass. Didn't have enough mustard on it, and Arkema comes back with the ball. Workman hammered as he can't get it to go down.
That foul might go against Paul Engelsma, 6'5" junior. Engelsma, the other inside guy for Covenant Christian. He's got to see the replay here. Nice little pump fake there by Workman. Got him up in the air. The foul is on Engelsma.
Engelsman and Meulenberg. A pretty good front line for Grand Rapids Covenant Christian.
Workman averaging 5.2 points a game, but he only shoots 45% from the free throw line, but he got that down. Workman, I think, Ray, is a critical player in this game. He had 18 points, a career high in the regional finals. They've got to find somebody else other than Jeremy Gorman to score for him.
So 1 for 2 at the line. There's a fellow you were talking about that really likes to put it up. He didn't light up the lights yesterday on the outside.
Well, I think you'll see Joel Halsteg is shooting the ball pretty good outside.
And Pike will let go. And too much iron, but they get a foul in the middle.
That's an example of being out of position on the offensive boards. Foul's going to go against Chris Fisher. Fisher, a 6'2" senior guard. Started 2 years for Covenant Christian, averaging 10.9 points a game. He is the court leader for Covenant Christian.
And here is the court leader right now for Muskegon Western Michigan Christian, Gorman.
Covenant's into man-to-man defense. They'll try and put pressure on the ball.
Gorman shot a little bit light, scrambled underneath. And good determination that time as the pass came out to Brian's side.
That's Jeremy Lucchese. That's an interesting story. We'll get into that a little bit later on.
Good fake that dive. Too much glass. Comes back down to Western Michigan Christian.
But you got to like that from Paul Engelsma. Meulenberg cannot be the only one inside. That time, Engelsma did a good pump fake, got the ball into the rim, but he just didn't get it to drop.
Even Western. That's the shooting you were talking about. Arkema got back in the fence real well, but too much for Meulenberg. He drives and spins and hits for two.
He's got such great hands. That time he could have lost it easily out of bounds, but he's got such soft hands for a big man, and that's really played to his advantage.
Grand Rapids up 6-5 in the early stages of this game. Nothing shabby about that baseline drive by Arkema that time. Good fake and draws the foul. Foul will go against Zaidama.
And all that started off because Paul Engelsma got the ball high post, pump faked his man up in the air and dished it off to Dave Meulenberg. That's an excellent example of when you fake a man and you have quickness to the hole, the defense has got to react to you. When that reaction comes, then you've got problems. See Ryan Arkema there going baseline. Thought he should have picked up an offensive foul, did the Covenant Christian bench, but no call. Excellent call by the official. Dave Meulenberg on the free throw line. He's their best free throw shooter, 78% for the season.
That's why that time on the first one.
It's real important for Meulenberg here to get off to a good start. He struggled in the playoffs so far. For the season, he shot 64% from the field, but last night he was 3 for 17 in the semis, and he's got to get off to a good start.
And goes for 1 for 2 from the free throw line on that occasion. Trying to get the screen and the pick on the right side. Wouldn't work for him. They'll set it up again.
You can see how the offense is geared toward Jeremy Gorman. Nice interior passing.
A nice touch that time. The guy that just checked in. Van Wingerden. Might be in this game super sub, the sixth man.
Well, they're going to have a lot more than just Arkema and Gorman, which has been the key for them all year long. In the state finals, other players have got to step up to the forefront other than your stars.
Nice pass, little hook won't fall. March pass, a little too tough for Halstead to catch up with.
A lot of people watching this probably have not seen either one of these teams playing, Ray, but this is exactly what Covenant Christian's been struggling with most of the playoffs. They just simply don't get off to a fast start like they have so far in the season. And, for example, in the regional finals, they were 10 down at halftime to a team that really struggled the whole time with them, but they came back, they were able to win the game, but they just simply haven't started very strong.
Nice fake underneath and a nice basket by Arkema. Impressed with that young man. Got 6. Currently getting down before the defense sets up. This is the first 2 from Chris Fisher, excuse me.
What you'll also see from Covenant Christian, a lot of switching up on defense.
Oh, the dribble got away that time at 2-on-2. Oh, call for traveling. Couldn't anchor down that one. As
We've got an injured player, and it's
out.
Jeremy Gorman, Ray, and that is not a good sign for Muskegon West Michigan Christian. You see Jeremy obviously in pain. The official's going to call an official timeout here. Now watch what happens here. He tries to make a move going inside. It seems like he steps on the foot of Chris Fisher and rolled his ankle a little bit, and he is in obvious pain.
34.
Then you see the travel there by Joel Holstege. Excellent camera work here by the Palace crew.
Well, while they're working on that, young man, don't forget later this afternoon you can see the Class C title game in the 1993 MHSAA Lower Peninsula Girls Volleyball Tournament right on Pass. Join Mark Crawford and Lynn Rosendale for all the action following our basketball coverage on Pro-Am Sports.
That type of injury, Ray, I'm reminded of the state finals when Chris Webber was a senior in the first quarter. He goes down with an ankle injury. They take him out off the bench. Remember, they taped his ankle, and it was almost a hush aura set around the crowd. What was going to happen now to Birmingham Country Day? The same type of aura setting in now from Muskegon West Michigan Christian. They take Jeremy to the end of the bench. Obviously, the trainer's going to look at that. We hope it's not serious, but he is a critical part of this team.
Jeremy Lukes comes in now and replaces him wearing number 34. And again, a little baseline foul, a call for offensive foul. No basket for Arkema, no basket.
And that is Arkema's second personal foul. He is another player they can ill afford to lose. Dave Meulenberg had outstanding position on the baseline, held his ground. Arkema made some contact, and the official right there with a call.
Muskegon Western Michigan Christian comes in with a record of 20-6, as we mentioned when we came on with this Class D championship game. Grand Rapids Covenant Christian, 26-0, and trying to take the title away from the players they're playing today. Nice move that time, going to the basket with Paul Engelsman.
Again, an example of a great player, Meulenberg, drawing the defense to him, double teams, dished it off to Engelsman, who had the presence of mind not to dribble the ball, but to put it up for the easy layup.
11-11 with 2:46 to go in the opening quarter. And a turnaround jumper won't go, and a foul called on Meulenberg. A little too much body that time.
I think West Michigan is doing the right thing by trying to get the ball inside. They really do not have that great of outside shooter, Ray. They've got to put the ball inside, hopefully get some foul problems with Covenant Christian.
Working hard, Arkema won't go for him.
That time, Arkema a little bit too concerned about drawing the foul and not enough concentration on putting the basket.
Winning story so far. Pretty close. On the field. Little switch handled very well on defense that time by Western Michigan.
Yeah, that was J.J. Lucci. Did an excellent job holding his position on the baseline. Did not allow Halsteggy to get around him.
Locked him right off at that baseline. Nice rebound handled that time by Engelsman. Grand Rapids Covenant Christian. Halsted trying to set something up, wants the baseline, puts it up. Nothing but air that time.
West Michigan doing an outstanding job on the defensive boards, a key to not letting them have second chances.
Offensive foul, basket will not count.
That's the second time that Meulenberg has got back on defense, established the position, and drew the charge.
That was Brian Syke driving that time.
You're going to see the replay now. Watch Meulenberg. He gets back, good defense, does not try to block the shot, stands there, takes the punishment. Excellent call by the official.
Joe Eldersveld checking in.
You know, so often that kind of, excuse me, Ray, so often that kind of situation, the big player wants to go up and make a big block and stir up all the fans, but Meulenberg knew he had the position. Instead of trying the big block, just stood his ground, and Lucci's draws the foul.
Joel Van Buren also in there as a substitution for Grand Rapids Covenant Christian, wearing uniform number 44.
Nice defense, West Michigan. It's important with their star on the bench to hold him down.
Drive that time, Eldersveld couldn't make it drop. Pike very active inside early stages of this game for the Chargers.
Both teams doing a good job defensively on the boards, not allowing second chance points, and neither team really shooting that well, nor passing that well as we just saw there.
Lob pass going astray. And another block called on the Chargers. That'll go against Scott Cole for 22.
Scott Cole, 6'1" junior. That time did not have position, tried to draw the foul.
Joshua Toast checks in for the first time and coming back in the lineup for Muskegon Christian, Eric Workman.
Well, with Jeremy Gorman on the bench, it's real important for Muskegon West Michigan Christian here to make sure they're very patient and get a good shot selection.
Reaching in that time and a foul.
Or draw the foul.
Yep. Wingerton that time trying to drive, draws the foul.
This is really an interesting game of contrast. When you talk about Covenant Christian, you talk about a lot of pressure. They've got great hands, always moving, getting their hands on the ball. And Muskegon West Michigan Christian sometimes struggle with an offensive half-court game, but that's what they need to do, establish the patience, get the good open shot, and when they're able to do it, to knock it down.
The last foul on Taylor Pike, called against Grand Rapids Covenant.
That time you saw an example of what we were mentioning about quick hands. Taylor Pike knocking it out of bounds.
A lot of coaches have said, hey, I do not want to see a team score on the inbound pass underneath our basket.
Oh, if you give up baseline, I knew a lot of coaches make you run a lot of laps for that. Nice patience here.
Fall away off the mark. Good defensive rebound that time. Time to be patient.
Things get a little bit sloppy in both teams. They got settled down. A travel violation now.
Scott Cole called for traveling, put a good fake in, but the feet were moving.
You know what's happening? Jeremy Gorman's on the bench. Covenant Christian says, look, we got to take advantage of this. They're pressuring themselves into making their own type of mistakes.
And we've got a tie game at 11 each with just about 2 seconds on the board and enough time to draw the foul.
Interesting to see if he was outside the three-point line. If he was, he'll be shooting 3 free throws. Tyler Pike with the foul.
And Wingerton to go to the line. Second foul on Tyler Pike. He'll go to the bench. Chris Fisher back in. The Grand Rapids Covenant Christian. Wingerton.
West Michigan shooting 62% as a team from the free throw line. Van Wingerton 69% as a player.
Just shy of a 6-point average coming into this ball game for the season. Goes 1 for 2 at the line. That's the end of the first quarter. Muskegon, Western Michigan Christian 12, Grand Rapids Covenant Christian 11. This is the MHSAA Championship Network.
Things are looking up at the Palace after 1 quarter of the Class D Championship. Muskegon Western Michigan Christian with a 1-point lead over Covenant Christian from Grand Rapids. I'm joined once again by our guest analyst, Marshall Thomas, varsity basketball coach at Saginaw High. Marshall, your evaluation, how the first quarter went?
I think that the first quarter, coming into the game, we're probably expecting a lot more higher scoring game. But I think their familiarity with each other, they know each other's strengths and weaknesses.
Of course, a key factor, the unfortunate injury to Jeremy Gorman, the outstanding guard from Western Michigan Christian.
Their leading scorer. We're hoping that it doesn't. He's able to come back because that could definitely have a definite demand on the game.
And you mentioned this is the third meeting between the clubs. What does that mean in terms of familiarity?
A whole bunch. They know each other inside and out.
And that will continue to be the case. We see Jeremy Gorman back on the floor. That's good news for everybody. And right now, back down to the floor once again, and John and Ray.
All right, John, I don't know. I see he's still wearing that ankle brace. I don't know if that was the ankle that he had hurt earlier in the year, but he's back in there, and he can still do some damage. Foul on Workman that time, right at the baseline.
It's already with Paul Engelsma, some excellent things that we're seeing. He's very active in the game, and you're going to see here on the replay with the idea that Engelsma gets good position inside. The player on top looks down low. Engelsma does an excellent job with the interior offense. That's something that Covenant Christian does so well also, as well with their pressure-type defense. Offensively, they work the ball around. They get it inside either to Meulenberg or Engelsma, and Engelsma's a real key because he can take a lot of pressure off Meulenberg.
Engelsman, an 11th grader, 58% shooter from the line. And take a look at that first quarter. The Chargers hitting on 50%. The Warriors only 38%. Not too much of a story so far in free throws, but interesting in the rebounds.
Both teams doing a good job defensively on the boards, not allowing each opponent to have the offensive boards. I think that goes back to what Marshall was saying about their familiarity with each other. They know each other's weaknesses and they know each other's strengths, so they play on it. And that's why in the first quarter we've had some tentative play.
Chargers had a chance to go back out in front there, but 2 missed free throws by Engelsman.
That's a great dribble penetration there by Ryan Arkema. He saw the defense let up on him, and he took the ball inside baseline.
Arkema been very active in this first half. And the foul will go against Wingerton.
Paul Engelsman goes to the free throw line, shooting 58% from the free throw.
Missed the last 2 when he was at the line. Let's see what he does this time.
Foul 41.
Again, Engelsman on the baseline, very active for Covenant Christian so far in this game. One of the keys for Covenant Christian is to get other players active inside other than Meulenberg. So many teams double team Meulenberg that they've got to have some help side offense, and Engelsberg so far in this game is doing an excellent job.
Okay, at the line, Grand Rapids Covenant Christian Chargers. They are the team in black, white, and gold. And got 1 for 2 at the line. In the green and white, Muskegon Western Michigan Christian, defending Class D champs. A bit of break for the champs that time on the loose ball. Nobody there, and Workman hurried it too much, so 2 shots up there on easy layups, and it could prove to be a little costly.
Yeah, those are shots that Muskegon cannot afford to miss in a game of this magnitude.
Another easy one at the other end. That's Grand Rapids Covenant Christian.
Jeremy Gorman handling the ball pretty well. It doesn't seem that ankles bothered them that much. Certainly not in that shot either. And sometimes when you're bust up an ankle, it hurts you on the offensive shooting. But that time Gorman got it down nice.
Able to drive and lay it up and makes the steal here. And goes in and misses the layup.
Nice defense there by Chris Fisher getting back.
Engelsman. Too strong with it. But the big guy in the middle, Meulenberg, for the putback.
If you don't put a body on Dave Meulenberg, he's going to get that offensive rebound. That time, nobody boxed him out, and he had a nice lane to the hole.
Using the glass that time, Arkema.
Well, Arkema may be their defensive specialist, but so far, Ray, in this game, he's put on an offensive show.
Sometimes in a title game, you have somebody to pick it up a little bit, and he's doing that. Wingerton that time with his second basket. Muskegon, Western Michigan Christian clinging to a 2-point lead.
Oh, that's too bad.
Hang on to it.
Yeah, that was a great pass inside. Workman wasn't ready for it.
Swarming defense that time. Put him out of the basket. Really handled the loose ball that time. Air ball.
One of the things against Covenant Christian that you need to do is get back on transition defense. And West Michigan Christian is doing an outstanding job with that.
Worked out for their favor that time. I don't know whether it was a shot or a looping pass that went into Arkema, but he was hammered that time by Engelsman.
I'm not sure if it was before the foul or he's going to call it on the floor, but Jeremy Gorman launched a long 3-point attempt outside. They are going to give him 2. Gorman launched a 3-point attempt outside. I think that Chris Fisher got his hand on that, partially blocked it. That's why it was a short rebound. The defensive player was already getting set with a box out. That's Engelsman. He didn't see it being that short, and hence he picks up the foul.
Rick, you got an injury report up there?
I do, Ray, and talked to the trainer over on the West Michigan Christian bench. He has a first-degree inversion ankle sprain, and right now they've retaped it. They're going to try, of course, to keep him active. The danger comes here. The real challenge is that at halftime, they're going to take it off, ice it down, and it tends to swell up. So the third quarter, probably a bigger question mark for Mr. Gorman than the second quarter. Back to the floor.
Thank you, Rick, for that report. Well, we'll see what develops in the third quarter on that ankle. A little tentative coming down that time, almost on his toes. Driving the baseline that time. Wingerton. He'll draw the foul.
That time, Joel Van Buren, the fatal mistake on the baseline, did not get his position there in time, and he got called for the bump. You're going to see it right here. Nice first step inside Van Wingerton. You see the bump there. Number 44, Joel Van Buren, get calls for the foul.
Almost could read that he was going to go there.
It's going to be a 1+1 situation now. Van Wingerton, 69% free throw shooter for the year. West Michigan Christian shooting 62% as a team. They also come in, Ray, averaging 69 points a game, and their defense is holding opponents to 60 points a game.
Well, it's going to win you some games, and that's what they got here. At 9-point differential. Meulenberg.
That's a great example of the touch this young man has. Squared up to the basket, nice follow through, an excellent soft-handed jump shooter.
Western Michigan Christian up by 1, 19-18 over Grand Rapids Christian Covenant Christian. That's the lane to himself, a little left-hander, one drop. And there's Meulenberg.
Yeah, I think that foul is going to be on Trevor Zeidema over the back of Meulenberg. Meulenberg getting good position inside, Zeidema coming over the top.
Picks up his second foul.
See on the replay here, nice drive by Ryan Arkema, tried a little bit of a twisting off-balance shot, and without question, there's Zeidema over the back of Meulenberg. Meulenberg getting good position. Both teams are now in the bonus, so Meulenberg, the best free throw shooting player on this Covenant Christian team, 78%. Will go for the 1+1.
With 4:06 remaining in the second quarter. So it could help him a little bit as far as getting some points. And doesn't hit on it. And this is the front end. Look out. Good quick pass. And a banker off the glass. Nice move by Brian Sutton, 11th grader.
Great defense, Arkema from behind. Meulenberg thought he had the easy layup, but Arkema said no.
Most surprised young man, boy, you can see his face. Driving that time to the baseline, Zeidema. And instead, Meulenberg trying to get a little revenge, commits the foul.
I'll tell you, that could have gone either way because Zeidema had the elbow out. Here you see this great defensive play by Zeidema. Clearly no foul. Meulenberg going up a little bit too soft. Now they got the fast break. Gorman leading it. And Zeidema could have picked up. See his elbow? Kept it in tight. That's why the official did not call it. Meulenberg picks up his personal foul, number 2.
Zeidema, a 68% shooter at the free throw line. And off the iron and no good. Down to 3:37 remaining in the second quarter.
Not a good pass at all. Those cross-court passes will get intercepted every time.
Nice touch that time by Brian Sutton again. 6 points. Well, good defensive effort that time by Gorman, but he couldn't hang on to the ball.
The story on Brian Sipe is real interesting, Ray. Trevor Portniga was the third leading scorer for Muskegon West Michigan Christian. After the districts, he injured his knee severely, has not been playing. Brian Sipe has come in and done an outstanding job in replacement of Trevor Portniga.
Well, that's what you like to see. That's what our coach says. Hey, if you practice and you get your call sometime during the year, if you're ready, you get the job. And so far, young Mr. Sipe, in very crucial time, is definitely getting the job done. One of your network sponsors is Farm Bureau Insurance. Don't go away. Hey, now, there's the young man that you were talking about with the knee problem. And here you got another one with a foot problem over there.
Well, that's Trevor Portniga, number 21. It's interesting. He cannot play, but he dresses out. The coach said, I just can't keep him off the court. He tries to go out there and do layups, and you can't blame the young man. He's played all year. He's at the state finals, and he would love to be there, but an injured knee will not let him.
Well, maybe with a little bit of luck and some good healing, the 11th grader will make a return next year. And we wish him well.
I'll tell you, I've been impressed with the interior defense of West Michigan Christian. That time, Chris Fisher took the ball to the hole. The defense collapsed on him, forced him to take a bad shot. It goes out off of a Covenant Christian player, and it's West Michigan's ball.
Well, the field goal department so far, Grand Rapids Covenant at 44%. Muskegon Christian, 42%. But it all means not, because all of a sudden in the column, Muskegon is leading 23-18.
Dave Meulenberg with his 10th rebound of the game. Did an excellent job on the boards, as he always has this year.
And a nice soft touch right at the line.
You know, your defense, you've got to be reacting to that. You know, if Meulenberg stops at the high post, he's going to get the ball and he's going to knock it down.
Bombs away, wouldn't go that time. Rebounded by Halstead. And Grand Rapids puts up one of their own. Rebounding department so far has Grand Rapids out-rebounding Muskegon Christian 17-11.
And and Dave Meulenberg has 10 of those 17. That time, Chris Fisher knew which was the NBA three-point and which was the high school, and he knocked down the high school for three. Chris Fisher comes in shooting about 38% from the three-point line. Outstanding for a high school player.
And got his three. His first points in the second quarter.
And that's something we have not seen from Grand Rapids Covenant Christian, is that outside three-pointer. As a team, they're shooting 37% for the season.
Scott Cole picks up his second personal foul. Going to the line, Brian Sipe for Western Michigan Christian. Well, some starters returning back into the lineup after a breather, and they'll go the final 131 before the second quarter ends. Ryan Arkema back in there.
10.7 rebounds. The defensive specialist is doing a little offensive show here so far in the game. Dave Van Wingeren going to the bench. He's done an outstanding job coming in, but Brian Sipe at the free throw line, even though missing it, the book on him is he won't shoot the ball, he won't be offensive-minded, but so far in this game, he's done just that.
Alsteg trying to do it himself, drives a lane, won't fall. We're close to going out of bounds, but Muskegon Christian saves it. As they lead 20, no, tied at 23 all. And taking the lead now.
Arkema again, 12 points.
6 in the first quarter, 6 here in the second quarter.
Guess he's tired of being called a defensive specialist and decided in state finals to show people he can play offense.
Good movement with that ball right now.
Governor needs to be patient, work the ball perimeter, try to get it inside to Meulenberg or Engelsberg.
Taking the shot, making it. Van Buren. 11th grader, 6'4", 190-pounder. Down to 30 seconds remaining in the second quarter.
Gonna work for the last shot. Jeremy Gorman wants the ball in his hands. He wants to initiate whatever's gonna happen. I guess it's a three-pointer up.
Knocked away, trying for the rebound that time. Zeidemann couldn't hang on to it.
Not really good shot selection there. Still 20 seconds to go in the half. Jeremy Gorman, they left him open, so he thought he could knock it down. Of course, had it gone down, everybody would have said great shot selection.
Chris Fisher checks back in. Grand Rapids Covenant Christian might be playing for that one shot, down to 17 seconds.
Meulenberg's on the bench. Excellent coaching move there. Doesn't want him to pick up his third personal foul here in the first half.
Look at inside, nothing's there. Good pass just before the buzzer. Joel Van Buren makes the basket. Great fake on the baseline and back out with a pass. And that will put Grand Rapids Covenant Christian, the Chargers, up by 2 at the intermission, leading Muskegon Western Michigan Christian 27-25. This is the MHSAA Championship Network.
Back at the Palace Suite, the championship suite here at the home of the championships. Rick Berkey along with our guest analyst. Anybody's game still.
Still anyone's game. I tell you what seems to be too, though, Muskegon seems to have perhaps even changed up their strategies in terms of the first 2 games that they played. We had scores in the 80s and 90s. It doesn't appear that we're going to approach that type of a score here. But I think the reason being is because of the familiarity, and they've changed up a little strategies trying to stay in the game.
Now, we mentioned the injury to Jeremy Gorman. Now, often in high school sports and even at the collegiate level, you'll see this happen. A player, a key player, a star player in this case, gets injured. The other guys seem to pick it up a level.
And especially when they're a well-coached team. And they seem to have done that. Jeremy Gorman's team seems to have picked up for him and tried to keep staying in the game until to see if he can come back. You know, his shooting percentage in the first half was just 1 of 7, and that's not normally him. I'm sure that ankle has been bothering him, and we'll have to see what's going to happen in the second half.
All right, what do you think the concerns are quickly in both locker rooms as they come out for the second half?
Well, West Michigan is concerned, I think that coming in, that they were the favorites. And the only reason I'm saying that is because they were state champions in the past. And I think that until the state champion is dethroned, they're still the state champion. So I think that they will still think that they're in the driver's seat. On the other end, Covenant Christian, I think the pressure is on them simply because they have beaten them twice already. Now, most people would have thought that they might have been further ahead, and they only are ahead by 2.
The Class D crown still up for grabs, and this is the MHSAA Championship Network.
John Spooner is here. I'm Ray Lane. Nice to have you along, and a little bit of a surprise as Grand Rapids Covenant Christian comes back at the end and goes up by 2 points over the defending champ. Maybe a surprise. Maybe there's really no surprise in this game.
Well, Marshall talked about the fact that both teams know each other, and that's very true. In the first game, which Covenant won by 27 points, at the first half they were only ahead by 6, Ray. In the second game, which they won by 12, in the first half they were down by 10. So the first half is really not indicative of what can happen in this type of game between these two teams.
Which is a perfect lead-in to take a look at those stats from the first half for you, involving both teams. As you see, the field goal department up by 10%.
Well, no question about that, but West Michigan Christian only averages 43% from the field goal. You see the leading scorers here, Meulenberg, no surprise, he averages 20 points a game. The surprise there is Engelsma, 3 points. I would have expected a little bit more offense out of him. Chris Fisher, the senior, 5 points.
And he got those early, by the way. On the other side of the ledger, somebody did pick up the heat.
Well, Ryan Arkema, Jeremy Gorman goes down. He's averaging 17 points a game, only got 2 in the first half. He has an ankle injury. Ryan Arkema, the defensive specialist, averaging 14 points a game, comes in and knocks down 12 points in the first half. That's outstanding for West Michigan Christian, but they are going to have more balanced scoring. They cannot just simply rely on Gorman and Arkema to do it for them.
And you can take a look, a little bit of driving here. The fellow's been a nice force in the first half.
Well, there you see outside, number 44, Joel Van Buren. Nice jump shot from the top, fed inside to him by Joel Ellersveld. There's Jeremy Gorman, coach's son, the leader of the team. Nice pass. And there's 2 of Arkema's 12 points, averaging only 14, but Arkema doing an outstanding job offensively. He's got to be careful, though, he doesn't get into foul trouble. He
has been a very active player so far in this ball game as he comes looking towards our camera. Arkema with 2 fouls so far in the first half. But he's an aggressive type of player, and sometimes, as we saw in the semifinals, can run into foul problems. So Muskegon Christian in the green and white.
And there's our guy we just talked about, Arkema, splitting the defense, a little weak interior defense by Covenant. Nice little layup flip for Ryan Arkema, 14 points. He's at his season average right now, Ray.
We've got 27 each with Muskegon and Grand Rapids here, all tied up. Playing a good job on defense, coming in behind for the second time today, Zeidema, of slapping it away from Meulenberg.
That's a good example of help side defense. The player facing up to the opponent goes down the baseline. The help side comes from behind, and Zeidema twice now has blocked that shot from behind.
Workman looking across. Baseline shut off in a hurry, comes back out. Yes.
A little bit too much standing around there by Covenant Christian. Not much team defensive activity. Coach Kevin Van Ingen has been very concerned about that team defense in the playoffs so far.
Arkema with 2 quick passes. Nice job that time as Workman came in and slapped that bounce pass away.
Those teams know Dave Meulenberg's ability, so that no surprise there they collapsed inside with a double team and got the steal.
Using some good screens. Back out now. Might have been on, no, call for travel. Thought maybe he stepped out of bounds.
Well, Workman was very open, but he was very conscious of the defense reacting to him. He saw Meulenberg and he thought, oh, I'm not sure if I want this blocked. And in the meantime, he traveled. That's unfortunate because that was a great pass inside by Brian Seid.
Looked a little bit hesitant before he decided what he wanted to do with it. And will not drop for Meulenberg. Foul underneath and reaching in that time is Zeidema.
Chris Fisher getting the offensive board. Only, I think, 5 offensive boards for Covenant Christian in the first half. They do like to crash that. That will have been before the foul, so he will not shoot the free throw. Dave Van Wingerden's going to come in now for Muskegon West Michigan Christian. Van Wingerden, the 6th man off the bench, just like he was last year for the defending Class D state champions.
Workman checks out. The young man you're talking about with 6 very important points in that first half. Good hustle that time.
Ryan Arkema, this guy's got tremendous work ethic. The coach talks about the fact that one of the great keys for them is their team cohesion. There's no real great player, but they're all hard workers and they know their role in the team.
Shot by Halstad would drop. And sort of a costly foul and a foolish foul that time.
That's an excellent
by
call.
Zeidema.
Yeah, that's a great call there. Zeidema kind of thought the player was bumping a little bit. He thought he threw the elbow to make sure they got off him, but the official right there, you're going to see it right here. Zeidema gets not really pushed too much, but there's that elbow coming right around. A little bit of acting there by Paul Engelsma, but outstanding refereeing there. Good call.
Zeidema's fourth foul. Have to substitute for him in a hurry. We got 6:02 to go in the third quarter. Very important cog into that lineup. Meulenberg comes down with that rebound. Yep. Pipe that time, couldn't find it. Off the iron. Sight comes down. Oh, good turnaround. Forcing it. No basket. Are they going to count it out? I don't think so.
No, I think the foul's going to be on Chris Fisher. If it is, I think that's his third personal foul. We'll have to check the stats there, but now you see there's Arkema on the baseline. Fisher moving in a little bit. Good call by the official. Fans don't like it. They got that big screen TV above us. But I don't think Fisher got there in time to draw the foul.
Fisher. Boy, he's playing some kind of a game on drop for him.
That's his 10th rebound, 4 of them offensive for Ryan Arkema.
So Muskegon Western leading by 29-27 with 5:19 to go. Body that time, and Wingerton all over Engelsma.
You know, Ray, Marshall talked at halftime about both teams kind of changing up the flow of the game. That's true. Covenant Christian averages 84 points a game, 70 points in the playoffs. The one thing I have not seen them do that they do well is shoot outside. They have not shot outside. They've only had 3 3-point attempts and only knocked down 1 of them. And that's something that they seem to have decided we're just going to do. We're going to force the ball inside. We're going to go into Meulenberg. We're going to go into Engelsma. We're going to force them to play defense on the interior. And so far, very little from Joel Halstegi, which averages 12.5 points a game outside. He hasn't done a thing.
He really hasn't loaded up. I think he's taken just 1 long shot in the first half.
Arkema a little bit too hard there. Thought he drew the foul and lined it off the basket.
Well, the foul is called right in front of Muskegon Christian.
And if that's on Ryan Arkema and he's got his hands up, that's a very costly foul. It's his third personal foul.
Third personal foul. So they've got Arkema and Zeidema both some foul problem. Arkema with his third.
And he thought he'd try to draw the foul there. He actually got away with a little push there. Now he goes in, he reaches inside. You can see his hand right on the arm of Engelsma. Good call by the official right there. Coach Jim Gorman saw it too, but to no avail. That's a third personal foul for Ryan Arkema.
4th-team foul on Muskegon. Only 1-team foul so far on Grand Rapids Christian.
Instructions there by the West Michigan bench.
What kind of play they want. A lot of body and contact underneath that time.
That's going to be a foul on Tyler Pipe. Arkema getting good defensive inside position, boxed out well. Pipe going over his back. There's Joel Halstegi going inside. There's the offensive foul, or defensive foul over the back of Arkema.
And that's going to be Pipe's 4th personal foul. So they got a couple of players on both sides now in serious foul trouble. With 4:41 to go in the third quarter.
Well, one of the great things about doing television here in the Auburn Hills is outstanding production group. The camera work has just been superb, as you saw in that last baseline shot.
Open something up in the middle. How he got through there to get the shot away.
That's 3 times though. Arkema's gone inside and has not been able to get the basket. So I guess now he goes outside.
In and out. And a little flick out of bounds. Still belonging to Grand Rapids, the Chargers.
Well, it's clear that Jeremy Gorman, from the first quarter injury, has not got back into his rhythm offensively. Ryan Arkema is trying to take up the slack. So far in this quarter, he hasn't been able to do it, but you got to give him a lot of credit. He's attacking the basket hard. And there's his 4th personal foul.
Attacking that basket that time was Meulenberg and Arkema with his 4th foul. So you got Arkema and Zeidema each with 4 personal fouls.
I don't want to second guess any coaching, but I was about to talk about the fact that when do you get Arkema out of the game here in the third quarter? Unfortunately, you didn't get him out soon enough. One of the problems is, who do you bring in for him? You cannot bring anybody in like him that can play the defense. Arkema sits down with 4 personal fouls. But remember, Ray, we saw the semis last night. He had 4 personal fouls in that game. West Michigan came alive in the end of the third quarter and the fourth quarter, and they pulled the game out.
Arkema sits down with 16 points. Meulenberg at the line, a little bit light on that one. He has not been able to score here in the second half.
You know, when you got a player like Meulenberg, everybody knows him. They start just hammering him, double teaming, and I think it's taken his toll on him in the playoffs. The last 3 games, he simply has not been doing what he's done all season long, and I think the young man is just getting a little bit tired of being the marked player on the team that other teams focus on.
Goes for 0 for 2 at the free throw line, but gets the rebound this time. Grand Rapids having a terrible problem here of trying to get something down the way of points.
Yeah, they haven't scored at all.
Trailing 29-27. Over Workman. Won't back. Timely recovery that time by Gorman.
But again, 2 defensive players collapsing on Meulenberg, forcing a bad shot from him.
Sipe with a little bit of idea. He wanted to go inside, decided not to. Shot wouldn't go.
That time
off the fingertips.
Covenant did not do a good job boxing out, and the offensive boards went toward Muskegon West Michigan Christian. They had 5 of them in the first half. Jeremy Gorman going to inbound the ball, and again, as the stats show on the screen, they have not scored Covenant Christian yet in this half.
They have led at the half 29, or rather 27 to 25. And they dragging a foot, called for traveling. Good hustle that time, but Englishmark could not just stop on time.
You know, if I'm Kevin Van Ingen, I think I want to get a timeout now. This has really been pretty sloppy here, and in the last 5 minutes, they have not scored, and Covenant Christian struggling. They've not been in any kind of defensive or offensive rhythm. He's got to settle these guys down and play their type of game.
With 2:57 to go in the third quarter, and you hear from Gorman.
Jeremy Gorman, his first points since going out with the injury, and what a big basket that was, a 3-pointer.
Nice 3-point play.
This is a big call here because the official thought about the offensive foul, but no, it's going to go against Eric Workman. Workman doesn't like it, as no player inside likes being called for fouls. Dave Meulenberg is going to go to the free throw line shooting 2. He's got a chance here to score for the first time here in the third quarter for Covenant Christian. He already missed free throws, 78% free throw shooter for the year.
He's going to have to start lighting it up a little bit. Again, backside of that a little too much.
You know, something else we haven't talked about either, Ray. These teams got done, or at least Covenant Christian got done playing at 10:30 last night. They may still be a little bit tired and fatigued from that semifinal win.
So Meulenberg hits finally on the free throw, goes 1 for 4 his last 2 times at the line.
If he hadn't hit that one, they would have shot it again. The lane violation against West Michigan Christian. Christian being very patient, trying to work the ball around perimeter to see if they can get it inside.
Oh, you can see there was nothing there at all.
But part of that, you can see the ankle bothering him.
Looking inside and decided not to drive, Eldersveld. A little give and go. That's baseline shuffer, and yes.
Chris Fisher, good baseline, got the ball back from Paul Engelsma. Nice little pump fake, goes down to the baseline jumper.
Fisher's first 2 of the second half. And the first 2 quarters wound up with 5 points. And the defending champs leading by a couple, 32 to 30 over Grand Rapids Covenant Christian.
Oh, that's a big basket. Van Wingerden just took it up and over. The outstretched arm of Dave Meulenberg. Michigan Christian doing a very good job with their interior offense.
His 5th and 6 points. Well, good save there, didn't go out. See if they can take advantage down at the offensive end with 117.
That was outstanding look inside.
I think he faked out his own man that time. Went for the fake and off his fingertips.
Hey,
Hey, Mickey York, I know you're standing by. Let's check in with you.
Ray, we caught up with a couple of Muskegon Christian super fans. You guys have come a long way to see your team play. Has it been worth it?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You guys gonna win it this year?
Yeah, we're
Gotta
gonna
do
win
it.
all the way.
Gotta do it one more time.
They definitely bleed green and white over in this section.
Okay, well, your green and white leading right now 34-30 with 1:08 to go in the third quarter.
The young man with the ball right now, Joel Holstege, has got to get into the offensive flow of things. Simply has not been able to get his offensive game going, and they really need some outside production from him.
Really not. Haven't heard. Good passing. Haven't heard from him all day. Meulenberg crashing that time. And getting the first two from the field in the second half.
And that's an example, again, of his soft hands and outstanding quickness, just spinning inside the double team, going inside to the basket.
Little fall away, won't go. Crashing the boards, and then behind the foul will be called on Joshua Trost. Right in the back of one of the players of Grand Rapids.
Joel Van Buren, good job, defensive boards. It's interesting when the Stars, as Rick talked about earlier, really struggle in a game, the other players have got to pick up, and Joel Van Buren is one of those players, a 6'4" junior, that's doing a pretty good job inside defensively for Covenant Christian. Now the key is 50% free throw shooter. Can he do the job for them on the free throw line?
I just see Ben Ritzma checking in for his first appearance in this ball game. Got into yesterday's semifinals for Muskegon Christian. Well, a little daring that time, but Van Buren hits on the first free throw attempt. His first from the line this afternoon.
Young man averaging 6.5 points a game. Does an outstanding job off the bench for Coach Kevin Van Engen, knocking down that second free throw. That's one of the keys to this team. They have great depth. 7 players, Ray, average 8 points or more. This game is an example of that.
And a foul on the baseline. Might be against the big guy, and it may be Meulenberg, and if it is, his third. Good drive that time by Trost.
Well, they gave up the baseline. You see Joel Holstege giving up the baseline and comes over from behind, and I think the foul's going to be on Joel Holstege from behind, not on Meulenberg.
Didn't look like he got any, made any contact at all with him, did it?
Yeah, it was kind of tight there, but the official thought he got him up high with the arm. Certainly no body low. Shooting foul, so there is no bonus.
Well, Halstead picks up his first personal foul.
Chris Fisher practicing, though, on the rebounding of the missed free throw.
And puts his team up by 1, 35-34.
See a little bit of half-court pressure here. Man-to-man by Muskegon West Michigan. Trying to put pressure on the ball. Try to force a bad pass or a turnover.
Well, that's the first time to really see you be really aggressive in this ball game.
Joel Holstege has got to attack the basket. He's the key to the offensive flow of Covenant Christian. If he's not attacking the basket like we just saw there, they are not in their offensive sync.
And he got his first 2 of the ball game.
And then there, time he got a jump ball. Jump ball arrow favoring Covenant Christian. So Joel Holstege is getting a little bit more into the action of this game, Ray. And he really needs to spark the Covenant Christian team, which just seems to not have found any kind of flow to this game yet.
Time at the buzzer, and we'll go. So we have played 3 quarters for the Class D Championship. And we've got a close one. Grand Rapids Covenant Christian 36, Muskegon Western Michigan Christian 35. This is the MHSAA Championship Network.
After 3 quarters of the Class D state championships, it has been a 1 or 2 point game after every period. It remains that way. Covenant Christian on top of Muskegon West Michigan by 1. Marshall Thomas joins me again after 3 periods. Marshall, to put it bluntly, the first 5 minutes of that third quarter, neither team played good basketball.
No, they didn't. As a matter of fact, Muskegon, it took them 5 minutes before they got their first points of that particular quarter. I think both teams were getting the shots just weren't falling.
Now, the last couple minutes, we did see some action, a little bit more flow, and some success.
Yeah, they got a little bit more into the flow of the things, and again, the key was that some of the shots started falling.
Now Jeremy Gorman, the injured star, apparently the trainers did a good job on him. He's still obviously not 100%. However, he looks like he'll be able to finish the game.
He does. It doesn't look like seemingly that it's bothering him that much, so someone did a pretty good job on him, and I think he's going to be a key this last quarter.
Back to the floor.
Okay, gentlemen, thank you very much. Meulenberg got a rebound down to the other end, and call for traveling. Here's Van Buren.
Joel Van Buren been very active for Covenant Christian. That time he got called. Now, here's something we have not yet seen in this game, and that's full court pressure by Covenant Christian. That's what they've been known for all year long. It's very important for Muskegon to be able to handle that type of pressure.
And for Muskegon, how much will the bench play a role in this final fourth quarter with two of their stars with 4 personal fouls? We'll have to wait and see. Galva walking. I thought it was a good defensive play with no hacking there.
Well, what happened there is the official had the option. He could have called the jump situation, but instead he called the walk because the hand of Jeremy Gorman was not holding the ball enough to make it a jump situation. Good call by the official.
On the line. So we take a look at the third quarter stats now.
Well, the field goal shooting percentage again showing both teams, as Marshall pointed out, not having good drop action on the ball in the hole. The rebound, however, is interesting. Muskegon out-rebounding the Warriors, Chargers 30-26. That is not what happens when the Covenant Christian plays. Normally, they're ahead 16 average rebounds a game over their opponents.
Meulenberg, shot will not go down, and crashing up defensive boards. A good job done by the Warriors that time to get the ball back without giving up any points.
Again, you see a lot of standing around by the Covenant Christian players. Not a lot of team defensive action. Moving to the ball, shutting off the passing lanes. That time, Dave Meulenberg, good job with the block.
Yeah, and Howard quickly coming back down to his team on a 3-on-2, but they couldn't get anything for it. No southpaw action, working for Scott Cole for his first 2.
Scott Cole, he's known to hit the threes off the bench. That's what's got to happen for Covenant Christian. They have got to hit the outside shot.
And they go up on top, 38-35 over Muskegon Christian with 6:06 to go in this ball game. So we've got a good one. Don't go away. Should be a thriller because these two teams may come right down the wire. By the way, again, Grand Rapids 38, Muskegon Warriors 35. One of your network sponsors is Farm Bureau Insurance. Well, somebody said we'd like a close ball game in Class D. That's exactly what we got, John Spooner.
Ray, exactly 20 years ago, Covenant Christian won its only State D championship game. No Covenant team has compared since then until now, and it looks like Covenant Christian has got to put some pressure on Muskegon West Michigan. Otherwise, Muskegon West Michigan, as Marshall said, they're the defending state champions. They've got a little bit of that aura working for them. Jeremy Gorman has yet to light it up, and he's that kind of explosive player.
They're going to beat Sand Creek 64-47. And that time, handling the rebound, Eric Workman there in the right place, but using all 6'5", 225 pounds.
That's what you call a garbage basket. There you go, Ryan Arkema, the defensive specialist, but he loses the ball out of bounds. Quick hands of Chris Fisher, knocking it off his leg.
Arkema had just looked up a little bit to see if he had a man that might be moving on his right to get a pass off to, and when he did, lost the contact with the ball. But you mentioned Fisher doing a good defensive move.
Well, they've got such great team speed, Covenant Christian does, that their hands are always active, knocking the ball away, and that was a good example of it.
Meulenberg, shot rolls around, won't drop. The defending champs come down with the rebound of their defensive end.
I'll tell you, Muskegon's doing an outstanding job defending Dave Meulenberg. Every time he gets the ball, they're rushing somebody at him, forcing him to think about the jump shot, not allowing him the open J.
Looking inside to get something, won't go. Workman comes back outside from that low post that he was in moments ago, and the pass is stolen. Meulenberg keeps the dribble alive and hangs off. Great effort.
And as long as he didn't get up off his knee, it was not a traveling violation.
Right. Stays in there and lays it up. It's good, Ingelsman. And the first time we've heard from him in the second half.
I'm going to tell you, Ray, if we get a replay on this, you're going to see exactly what Dave Meulenberg can do so well. When he gets the double team, 2 players come on, somebody's left open. That time, Paul Engelsma was left open on the baseline. He did a good job going to the hole. Now watch inside. You see the double team come over. Inside, Engelsma left open. Workman left his man to come over and help on Meulenberg. And Workman picks up the foul. Engelsma goes to the free throw line for 1. Outstanding camera work, guys. Meulenberg, he may not be able to score the field goals, but he certainly can find the open man inside. Okay, Engelsman has had 1 from the line today in the free throw department. And this time make it 2, so it helps his team to take a 41-37 lead over Muskegon Christian. Now you see the full court pressure applied. This has been a real problem the previous 2 games for West Michigan Christian. They handled pretty good that time, though. A little underhand pass is plenty good enough for Wintergarten to score. Too much standing around for Covenant Christian, not reacting that well to the pass that time. Pass, can he save it in time? And he does. Slow it down, bring the ball out, work it in. Arkema driving, has it slapped away. A nice move by Meulenberg. Keep in mind, Arkema playing with 4 fouls. They're down to 4:05 in this ball game. That time, Meulenberg wasn't ready for the pass. Joel Holsteg tried to force it in. Holsteg again, not able to get the outside jumper working for him. 2 points separating these teams with 3:52 to go. Little fall away. I was surprised he put it down on the floor. And coming down with it, Engelsma with a rebound. Well, great defense by Engelsma on Gorman to force the shot. Then he comes up with a defensive board. A little pass, a little too much that time for Engelsma. Couldn't quite get to it. And the hands of Gorman now. They got to be a little bit more patient here, Ray. They've only passed the ball 2-3 times, and then they go for the shot. They want to work for the open shot, try to get it inside. If not, Jeremy Gorman, look for him to take the outside jumper. Muskegon, Western Michigan Christian in the green and white with the ball right now. Try to go inside. That's a foul. And that'll be all for Arkema. That's 5 personal fouls for Ryan Arkema, and in this tight of a game, they cannot afford to lose him. 5th personal foul. We've got him down for 16 points. It's what he had in the 3rd quarter when he sat down with 4. It's controversial if you're a West Michigan Christian fan, but Arkema did try to create position by using his shoulder, and the official was on top of the call. Anytime a player goes down and lowers that shoulder to try and clear a lane for him, which Arkema clearly did, he's going to pick up the offensive foul, and that is a tough blow for Muskegon West Michigan Christian. Okay, Muskegon Christian, West Michigan with 5 team fouls now. Grand Rapids Covenant Christian with 3 team fouls, 3:11 to go in this ball game. And a timeout by Grand Rapids Covenant Christian. The Chargers want to talk it over, and they lead by 41-39 by Deuce. And that's a good timeout, Ray, because Kevin Van Engen, knowing that Arkema is on the bench, he wants to set up their strategy now to finish out the game. All right, to see the time remaining in regulation. And Grand Rapids up 41-39 over the defending champions. I tell you, it's been a good one. It has not been a high-scoring game, but it has been an exciting game. First quarter ended 12-11 with Western Michigan Christian on top. The half ended with Grand Rapids Covenant Christian on half, 27-25. Third quarter ended by a score of 36-35 with Grand Rapids Covenant Christian leading by 1. Videotapes of this year's MHSAA Boys Basketball Finals are available for purchase through the Media Center in Lansing. Now, each game is $39.95, $39.95, and may be ordered by writing the Media Center, 2405 East Mount Hope, Lansing, Michigan. Here's your zip, 48910, and allow 2 to 4 weeks for delivery. So you certainly, if you're a fan of Class D, want to take advantage of that, John Spooner. No question about that, and you've got a great game here. Much unlike it was last year when Muskegon West Michigan Christian literally blew Sand Creek out of the building. You've got a tight game here, and Kevin Van Engen doing an excellent job calling the timeout. It's going to settle his team down, and the key here with Ryan Arkema out of the game, you've got to look for them to go inside to Meulenberg. Arkema's been frustrated Meulenberg, but now they're going to go inside to him and try to establish that interior offense. Hey, Rick Berkey, come on in.
All right, we mentioned a couple of rarities in this game earlier. Another one, Covenant Christian girls also played in the state championship game back in December in Battle Creek. So what a year for Covenant Christian. The same calendar year, the girls and the boys basketball team play for a state title.
Covenant Christian lost the ball that time as it was Halstead who was trying to bounce it off somebody's leg. 2-on-1, nobody there, and it comes back just perfectly for Joel. Halstead gets his second basket of the second half.
And Tyler Pike, the hero of the quarterfinal game, was the one that was able to do that. Defensive pressure really picking up now for Covenant Christian.
3:28, no passing that time. Decided to take the shot, wouldn't go. Real scramble on the boards. Nice side there, back up. As Muskegon was not going to give up. The Christian Warriors did not give up in the offensive boards. Good scramble up there to keep that ball in position.
Jeremy Gorman with the ball. It's his time now. It's his team. He's been the senior leader, 3-year starter, the coach's son.
Coming through the lane, puts it up, will not drop. Maybe going to reach in foul. And I'm afraid so. That's going to be the 5th foul on Zonema. Reached over the shoulder, trying to go to the offensive board. So 2 of the mainstays of the defending champion, Muskegon Western Michigan Christian Warriors, have fouled out.
Trevor Zonema, 6'4" junior. He also has done a good job defensively for West Michigan Christian. They needed him interior against Dave Meulenberg. He will foul out of the game.
Well, he leaves with 5 rebounds, but nothing on the scoreboard.
Well, so far they haven't told him because he hasn't left the game. He's going over like, hey, if I just stand here, maybe they'll forget I've got 5 personal fouls. But now he's going to go out, and J.J. Lucic is going to come in for him.
Rookie's a 9th grader. Quite a story for this young man.
Yeah, they had to bring him up when the foul or the leg problem with Trevor Portiga. Injured his knee after the district championships. They brought up Lucic, and we're told he's a very quick player for a 9th grade player. And here he is playing in the Palace of Auburn Hills in the Class D state finals. Quite an experience for that young man.
Taylor Pike going to the line, putting one up and hitting to make it 44-39. Grand Rapids Christian.
It's real important that if he makes this free throw, because Covenant Christian will go immediately to full court pressure and try to force the turnover.
Exactly right, John. Nice going. Nice call, babes. As Gorman trying to get something going with 1:53 remaining. This team down 45-39. Decides to put up a 3, a little bit shy. And coming down with a rebound again.
And he gave it out to that
and gave it right back.
Great job, Muskegon West Michigan going 2 players in Halstead. He could not get rid of the ball. He tried to get it out. You can see the replay here. Excellent defense. Lucic, then Wingerton. You see the foot going out of bounds. Great camera work, guys. An outstanding call by the official.
You got a whistle over there. Was there a foul call?
Looks like a foul might be against Chris Fisher. That, if it is, it's his 4th personal foul.
Yeah.
4th team foul.
Not a good decision there by Covenant Christian. You're ahead in the game by 6. The one thing you do not want to do is put your opponent on the free throw line. No time goes off the clock. There's a chance to shoot free throws. And here you got the coach's son, Jeremy Gorman, although averaging 60% from the free throw line in the state finals, he's not going to miss too many.
As Gorman hits on that one. 45-40, Muskegon, the defending champs, want a timeout. They're trailing by 5 with 1:42 to go in this ball game. So, one more time with a little strategy on the bench as you see Grand Rapids Covenant Christian going back to their bench. So both teams, one on defense, one on offense. Hey, what do you want to do? If I make this free throw, what are we going to do? If I don't make it, what are we going to do for defense?
Well, most coaches aren't going to say if we don't make it. What they're going to say is have the positive mental image.
Yeah.
They're going to say after Jeremy Gorman makes this free throw, guys, we're going to go to a full court pressure of our own. Pressure Halstead. Halstead has struggled in this game. As soon as the ball goes in the hands of number 14, pressure him. There is time on the clock. You don't need to pick up the foul right away. Try to get the steal. If you don't get the steal, then they want to identify the players that they want to foul. One of the players that they want to foul is Paul Engelsma. He's only 58% for the free throw line this year.
Well, I have an opportunity. I'll remind you that there's a great keepsake of the MHSAA Boys Basketball Finals. And it's the 1993 souvenir program. Now, this 100-page publication is full of features and information about this year's finalists. To order your copy, send $3 to the Michigan High School Athletic Association, 1019 Trowbridge Road, East Michigan, 48823. That's East Lansing, Michigan. Excuse me, East Lansing, Michigan.
You know, Ray, Rick talked about the idea of the girls' state. finals and Covenant Christian being there, although they lost it. This Covenant Christian school is a school of family. And it's not just a term to use as far as friendship, but it's a literal term. On that state final team, Dave Meulenberg's sister, Mari, was also an outstanding center for that team. And then you had Paul Engels's cousin, Jamie. She was a star forward. This team and this school is interrelated with all kinds of players and athletes. It's a real credit to their school's athletic program, and here they are in the state finals.
It really is. Gorman missing at the line that time on the free throw. So the champions trailing by 5 as Grand Rapids Covenant Christian working in the middle, quick pass at the baseline. And Meulenberg tries to go in there and is handled. And the foul is called on Winterden.
Well, Van Winterden, he might have, that's his 4th personal foul. He might have got the ball clean up high, but what the official saw is down low with the body coming across the shoulder of Dave Meulenberg, and that's where the call is. You see, nice little fake there. Ball State getting it inside to Meulenberg. Watch Workman now. He goes up high, but with the hand down low is pushing him. He didn't like the call, but Meulenberg goes to the free throw line anyway.
Well, Dave with a free throw attempt here, using that good fake that he got him at the line with.
You know, the other thing about a good player, Ray, you may not have a great game offensively. It doesn't matter. The other team knows you're capable of it. They've got to think you're going to get it. They force the defense on you. And whether you're able to score or not offensively, Meulenberg has done an outstanding job just creating by presence.
It has at both ends, by the way, and you mentioned the word presence. So Grand Rapids Covenant Christian up now 47-40 with a minute and 15 seconds left. Yeah, that 9th grader plays a little tough down there. But it looks like all Chargers on this Saturday afternoon in 1993. Chalk it up to Chris Fisher for 2. Couldn't find the handle. And again, they reached in and knocked out of bounds.
As you said, again, you see the team defense of Covenant Christian has really picked it up here in the 4th quarter. Chris Fisher got a hand on the ball, knocked it out of bounds. It'll still favor West Michigan. Covenant Christian here in the 4th quarter has picked up their team defense quite dramatically.
And the largest lead of this ball game at 49-40, a 9-point spread with 58 seconds to go with Grand Rapids Covenant Christian on top. Now back upstairs to Ray.
All right, you see Covenant Christian is just 58 seconds away from a Class D title. Back in 1973, they won the Class D crown. Coach Dave Corhorn's squad won that one, 68-61 over Flint Holy Rosary. Interesting aspect about that is that Dave Meulenberg, the big man here for Covenant Christian this year, was cousins with the star player of that team back in 1973. A lot of parallels as well, and 58 seconds away, Covenant Christian could make it the 2nd one in 20 years. Back to Ray and John.
Okay, we'll see what develops here.
Good story there by Rick talking about Dave Meulenberg, a 6'6" center. Second cousin 20 years ago, John Bull, who happens to have his picture in this year's program here in the state finals, had 15 points in the 4th quarter way back 20 years ago. It wasn't that far ago. That's when I graduated from high school. But outstanding here for Covenant Christian in the 4th quarter. Their intensity on defense has really improved dramatically. West Michigan now forcing the ball. He's got to look at the 3-point opportunity. Gorman has got to get the ball in his hands, and so far hasn't been able to.
Wide open man that time. Caught him napping as Trost plays it in for his first 2 points. And a free throw earlier.
The key is to go for the steal and then the foul.
And reaching in from behind, Jeremy Gorman there with a foul.
Chris Fisher, 6'2" senior, comes into the game averaging almost 11 points a game, shooting 71% from the free throw line. Covenant Christian as a team, 67%.
Fisher, a 12th grader, trying to wrap up a title if he can, something definitely he'll remember the rest of his life with 42-4 to go in this ball game. And his team up by 7. He can help the cause here.
One thing about when you look at Covenant Christian, Ray, their expressions change very little. All year long, it's just been pretty consistent, pretty steady. It's a real true reflection on Kevin Van Engen and his attitude of discipline and character. Not very much emotion. You saw Chris Fisher knocking it down, ice cold.
Well, you remarked about that in the semifinals, and I tell you, even in the warm-up, and even when they won, there wasn't much there. Trying to hustle for it and try to save it after the shot by Gorman. Was coming in there was Lucas, but couldn't do it.
Well, Lucas thought he might have had the opportunity to go up for the easy 2. Instead, he didn't think about getting the ball in his hands. They got to think about fouling again quickly. Covenant Christian Christian holding the ball out. It's going to spread it out now.
22 seconds. And reaching around and committing the foul. Winded.
And that will be the fifth personal foul, Ray. That's 3 players now that have fouled out for West Michigan Christian.
Arkema, Sardiman, Wingerton now fouling out.
Wingerton, a 6'3" senior, playing his last game for West Michigan Christian, and a lot of character in this game. They come in 20-6 record. They lost, Ray, 5 of their first 13 games. They came in 3rd in the River Valley Conference. Nobody expected them here. They lost a great player in Randy Prince from last year's team and Rich Pranger, and yet here they are doing an outstanding job. A lot of credit.
Scott Cole will go to the line. A couple of the starters, Taylor Pipe checking out. Engelsman has checked out of there. And now Dave Meulenberg checks out, leads with 16 points.
Great tribute to that young man. He may not have had a statistical game that he would enjoy, but as far as character and intensity, never gave up, worked hard on the rebounding factor, was always a presence in the game. Whether he scored or not that many points, averaging 20 and only 16 today, they had to be aware of him. Meulenberg, a lot of credit to his side, his last game as a senior for Covenant Christian.
Chris Bosco checks in along with Luke Rinstra, checking in for Muskegon Christian. Scott Cole at the line.
A lot of substitutions now. Both coaches going to enter their benches. Give the players a chance to play on the court of Isaiah and Bill Lambier. It doesn't matter whether it's 21 seconds or not for them. That's all day on the court. All they got to do is tell their kids someday, I was in the same spot Isaiah was in.
And I was playing in a state championship game. And I had a pretty good game. Scott Cole hits the free throw to increase the lead to 10, 52-42.
Covenant Christian going to end the season 27-0. School record, undefeated season. Outstanding credit, Kevin Dunningham. The interesting thing about this Covenant Christian team, Ray, is they're going to have 3 of the 5 starters back for next year.
That's interesting.
Pipe, Engelsma, and Holstege, all 3 are juniors.
Cole checks out of there with a couple of free throws. And Ryan Van Overloop checks in with 14 seconds remaining. It belongs to Grand Rapids Covenant Christian as they have a title 20 years ago, and they come through with one this year in 1993. That is it. 53-24.
I think
Rapids Covenant Christian.
Ray, this is the most emotional that Covenant Christian has ever been all year long. Their fans, the players, a lot of emotion. They can finally let it out after all year, shooting for a repeat from the team 20 years ago, their 2nd state championship in Covenant Christian boys basketball history.
And they led by 1 after 3 quarters and then came through in the 4th quarter, outscoring the defending champs 17-7 to wrap it up by a score of 53-42. Exciting game, close all the way. We hope you enjoyed it. We've got some presentations coming your way, but right now we'll remind you that this is the MHSAA Championship Network.
Covenant Christian from Grand Rapids becomes our 2nd state champion in boys basketball in 1993. They defeat Muskegon Christian's Warriors 53-42. They join Saginaw Buena Vista as state champs here at the Palace on this wonderful day. Now for the awards ceremony, let's go down to the floor once again, and public address announcer Eric O. for Seth.
Ladies and gentlemen, before the presentation of the championship trophy and medals, let's acknowledge these 2 fine teams for their achievements this year and their play here today. At this time, we direct your attention to center court, where Norm Johnson, athletic director of Bangor High School, member of the Michigan High School Athletic Association Representative Council, will make the awards presentations. First, let us honor the runner-up in Class D, the Warriors of Muskegon Western Michigan Christian. First, we'll present the individual medals. Number 10, Joshua Trost. Number 12, Ben Ritzeman. #21, Trevor Portiga. #22, Chris Bosco. #24, Matt Sickinga. #30, Luke Ringstra. #34, J.J. Lukey. #40, Matt Kokuk. #41, Dave Van Wingerton. #42, Jason McCarthy. Number 11, Jeremy Gorman. #20, Brian Sight. #31, Ryan Arkema. #32, Trevor Zeideman. Number 50, Eric Workman. And 44, Scott Seitzma. And now accepting the runner-up trophy in Class D, Coach Jim Gorman. Congratulations to Muskegon Western Michigan Christian, runner-up in Class D. And now, for the 1993 Michigan High School Athletic Association Class D champion, the Chargers of Grand Rapids Covenant Christian. First, we will present the individual medals. Number 10, Jeff Halsteg. 12, Ryan Van Overloop. 20, Matt Veldhuis. 22, Scott Cole. 24, Joel Eversveld. 34, Craig Snipey. 40, Tim Kuiper. 42, Dennis Keitstein. 44, Joel Van Buren. 52, Chad Engelsma. Number 14, Joel Halsteg. Number 30, Tyler Pike. Number 32, Chris Fisher. #50, Paul Engelsma. #54, Dave Meulenberg. And accepting the championship trophy, Coach Kevin Van Engen.
The Chargers of Covenant Christian celebrate the Class D championship, concluding our second state title. They're happy as well, they should be. They'll take that championship trophy back to Grand Rapids. Stay with us, we have more to come, and one of your network sponsors is Farm Bureau Insurance.